everybody, it is meteorologist Adrian's weather forecast, and welcome back to another video. This is going to be another update on Winter Storm Wesley as it gets closer and closer, and the models are still changing, and so we just got to keep a close eye on this as people need to be prepared now. And this is going to go in the record books as it's coming in this springtime, and it's going to start delaying spring as it's going to dump up to 3 feet with blizzard conditions and bringing up that cold front. So it looks like winter is going to stay for a couple more weeks. Not really exciting for people who don't like winter, but it's going to stay here for a couple more days and bring a lot of snow. So this is going to go in the record books. Sorry if I moved the radar. So guys, here's the 24 hours. So this is like, this storm's coming really fast now. It's felt like we just started talking about this, but it is coming fast. Look at this, it's starting to make its form here in the next 24 hours, and it's going to bring a lot of snow for northeast Wyoming, western South Dakota, and southeast Montana, bringing a lot of snow in this area in the next 24 hours. So exactly tomorrow as we're speaking, it's going to dump a lot of snow for parts of South Dakota and northeast Wyoming, bringing some snow for parts of Colorado, parts of Wyoming, Utah, Salt Lake City, even for parts of Idaho and Nevada. Let's go to the next 36 hours. That is bringing a lot of snow. It's going to be Thursday is going to be one of the worst days as it's going to bring a lot of heavy snow for parts of South Dakota and Nebraska, and even parts of South or North Dakota and the border as it gets onto the day. But when the morning of Thursday, it's going to bring quite a bit of snow ranging from Colorado all the way to South Dakota, with the blizzard conditions starting now. And then sorry guys, I'm not sure why these are keeping popping up. With a line of freezing rain popping up. So that's going to be very dangerous as the ice is going to come, and it's going to get on mailboxes, road, houses, power lines, trees, and possible power outages. And that's not going to be good, as when you're not going to have power, this heavy snow is coming down. So let's go to the next 54 hours, guys, as it's going to move on Thursday. So most of the day Thursday, it's going to bring quite a heavy snow for parts of South Dakota and Nebraska. And you can see then it's going to bring that snow for southwest Minnesota, very heavy, and then a big line of freezing rain for parts of Wisconsin and parts of Minnesota, which will cause those power outages most likely. And then still for parts of Kansas, even parts of Wyoming. But it's going to be very bad, especially for parts of central South Dakota. You can see it's actually, the snow is going to start getting for parts of southeast North Dakota. So it's changed a bit, and now showing a bit more snow for parts of North Dakota. But this is the bullseye right here for the heaviest snow for parts of South Dakota and southern Minnesota. 66 hours from now, it's going to bring quite a bit of snow for parts of southwest Minnesota and eastern South Dakota, even bring some snow for parts of Iowa now and on Friday, and then still bringing some snow for parts of Nebraska all the way to Minnesota, and then bringing that freezing rain for parts of the northern part of Wisconsin. Quite a bit of rain for parts of the southern part now, showing a bit less snow for parts of Madison, then bringing that snow for parts of northern Minnesota, even bringing some snow for parts of North Dakota now, even the parts of the northern part of the state. So like I said in the beginning, it is changing. The models are changing as it's getting closer and closer, so we need to keep an eye on this storm. 78 hours from now, this is Friday, around Friday night, evening, still bringing some snow for parts of North Dakota. You see almost the whole state of North Dakota is getting snow now, so it did change significantly from yesterday, bringing some snow still for parts of northern Nebraska, and even a moderate snow to high snow for parts of central to northern Minnesota. So it changed a lot from yesterday. 90 hours from now, this is actually Saturday. 96 hours from now, it's still for parts of northern Wisconsin. So it is a very long-lasting storm. As you can see, very heavy snow, even for parts of northern Michigan. Just very heavy snow, and then another system will come around. So let's check out the snow total. So this is the European model. This is zoomed out as we've been having. So you can see quite a bit less snow for parts of the areas near the Madison. That's only showing about 4 inches, significantly less than yesterday. And then showing a lot more snow for parts of North Dakota and even Minnesota. A lot more snow for parts of the northern part of Minnesota, quite a bit more snow for parts of southern Nebraska, quite a bit more snow for parts of northwest Minnesota, or sorry, not Minnesota, Kansas, and then a lot of snow for parts of Colorado, bringing quite a bit more snow for Denver, and then the mountain snow right here. But let's go ahead and check out, zoomed in from the Midwest, as we've been doing, because it is going to hit the Midwest very hard. So this is actually Sunday. The storms ended by now. Bullseye right here for parts of South Dakota. Very heavy snow, up to around 27 inches to 29 inches here. Very heavy snow there. That's the bullseye. And then again right here around part of the western part of the state can get in their bullseye. And then 22 inches for parts of southwest Minnesota. About a foot for parts of northwest Kansas. Quite a bit more snow than yesterday. A lot less snow for parts of southern Wisconsin. Yesterday showed about 13. Now it's only 4. Significantly less snow for parts of also central Wisconsin. Around the same amount near the border of Wisconsin and Minnesota. But a big, this is actually the general spot for the heavy snow. So that's it. It might change by tomorrow, but this is it now. And this is a general spot where they can get up to 3 feet at most, except for here that can get maybe at least 3 feet. And then quite a bit of snow for parts of northern Nebraska where they can get up to 20 inches of snow near the border. So that's the European. Let's check out the GFS. It is showing quite similar, except showing another area for about 3 feet for parts of western Minnesota, just a couple miles west from Minneapolis, about 30 to 28 inches, just under 3 feet, and then showing 30 inches right here, parts of South Dakota. So this is the general area. Instead of over here in European model, it's only over here where they can get up to 3 feet of snow, maybe even at least 3 feet of snow. You never know. And then you can get showing a bit more snow actually for parts of the Wisconsin and Minnesota border, up to 13 inches, maybe even 15 inches here. And then showing quite a bit more snow for parts of the central to northern Wisconsin on the eastern part where they can get up to a foot. Showing a bit less snow for parts of northern Nebraska instead of 18 to 20 inches, showing about 13 to 15 inches. Showing quite a bit of snow for parts of North Dakota now, especially also the European showed that. Showing a bit less snow for parts of northwest Kansas, and just bringing the general bullseye is really over here where you can get that heavy snow over there. So let's check out the EPS. It is around the same as yesterday, just a little bit, where this is the big blob of the heaviest snow right here, bringing in the parts of north Nebraska, and then the parts of southwest Minnesota, and then central South Dakota, where around here you can get around the 21 inches, or 20, in between 23 inches. Quite a bit of snow, more snow in the EPS for parts of southeast Minnesota and parts of northern Minnesota, or sorry, not northern Minnesota, northern Wisconsin and Minnesota, and then quite a bit of snow for eastern Wyoming, quite a bit of snow for parts of northwest Kansas, and then a lot more snow for northern Nebraska and central Nebraska, and then bringing in quite a bit of snow for parts of southeast North Dakota. That's actually going to be the bullseye, especially southeast South Dakota, or North Dakota, sorry, is getting the most snow so far for North Dakota. This in general, out of these models, where they ranging up to 2 feet in this model for here to about maybe 4 inches, but still showing about the most out of what North Dakota is getting. So let's this is the FE3 GFS, one of the GFS models. It generally, again, showing the most snow for parts of the the southern part of North Dakota, and then quite a bit different places actually scattered around where they can get that very heavy snow. It's very scattered actually. Very general, or just a lot of places to count. So these are only some of them that are showing quite a bit of snow, especially here where it shows up to 32 inches of snow, 26 inches around that, and then you have a lot more snow for parts of Madison area, showing 17 inches. very, very different compared to the European and GFS. Just showing a lot more snow for Wisconsin just itself, a lot more snow for parts of Iowa, 20 inches of snow, showing quite around a couple inches less than the European. Quite a bit of snow for parts of eastern Wyoming, up to 22 inches. Quite a bit of snow on the border of Nebraska, up to around 27 inches of snow. But again, out of all the models, this is really the bullseye. Sorry guys, these keep on coming. I don't know why. But there's a lot of snow for parts of these areas. 29 inches for parts of the border of North Dakota and South Dakota and Minnesota right here. Just a lot of snow there. So yeah. So now you can see generally how much snow is to come. This is a NAM. I know it shows 60 hours, but if you are even paying attention to that. But over here you can see it's actually Friday. So yeah. So showing quite a bit of snow for or actually this is actually agreeing with the European model based on the snow in Madison and generally Wisconsin, showing a bit less snow for parts of the northern part of Wisconsin, and then showing a lot less snow for parts of Minneapolis. But again, showing the bullseye for parts of South Dakota, and still it's actually showing quite a bit of snow for parts of the southeast part of North Dakota, and then a lot of snow for the border of Minnesota and North Dakota, and then bringing a lot of snow for central and northern Nebraska. Actually showing a bit less snow for Nebraska, and a lot less snow for parts of Kansas, and a lot less snow for parts of central Wyoming. But this is actually showing a bit less snow for parts of the areas around the bullseye. It's just showing a lot less snow, especially over here where Kansas can get around 8 inches in the other models, and then nothing here. So let's take a little break. Let's start talking about the precip if you're not getting the snow, if you're getting rain. So you can see it's actually showing a bit more snow actually now, not for South Dakota, Nebraska, or it's actually showing a bit more snow for actually the western part of Wisconsin, southeastern Minnesota, and northern Iowa, where they can get up to around 4.5 inches to 5 inches right here. So they're not just going to get a lot of snow, they're going to get quite a bit of rain, and then showing a bit less of rain for parts of South Dakota, Nebraska, only showing around 2.5 now, other than it showed 4 yesterday. But this is the general area where they're going to get a lot of rain, and not a lot of rain where it's going to bring the rain for southern Michigan or northern Illinois or southern Wisconsin, where they're going to get quite a bit of rain, but the accumulations will be in western Minnesota, western Wisconsin, southern Minnesota, and northern Iowa. So that was a quick, just a quick update on the rain. So let's check out tropical tidbits, since we need to check out a lot of sites. So this is actually Wednesday. So you can see where that snow is starting to form, and then bringing quite a bit of heavy snow for parts of northern Wyoming, and you can see again the freezing rain for parts of South Dakota and southwest Minnesota, and then that rain the southern part of the storm. So that's just what it's showing on when the storm's starting to get up to it. Thursday, you can see very heavy snow, and you even saw on the weather models a relation as on Thursday to bringing the heaviest snow for parts of northern Nebraska and southern South Dakota as it makes a midday, and then around the evening going to bring that heaviest snow for parts of central South Dakota and southwest Minnesota, bringing quite a bit of snow for parts of near Denver, near central and even northern Nebraska, and then bring quite a bit of rain for parts of the eastern part of Nebraska. That was a bit fast. Okay, let's get to now evening and night. Like I said, the evening and night of Thursday going to bring that heavy snow for parts of central South Dakota and southwest Minnesota. Not even just central, also eastern South Dakota. More like eastern than mid or central. And then bringing quite a bit of snow for parts of northern Kansas and Nebraska, showing a bit less snow for parts of Kansas as in the radar, and you can see that freezing rain for part of central Michigan, and then part of Wisconsin, then bringing quite a bit of rain for the southern part, and then bringing that snow for parts of the northern part of Wisconsin. So let's go to, let's get to around Friday, midday, bringing some freezing rain for the northern part, quite a bit of snow for part of the southern part of South Dakota, bringing some snow for North Dakota now, parts of even from Minneapolis near the rain and snow line, and then bringing a lot of snow for like St. Paul, Minnesota, and all those areas. And then it's going to stay there for parts of Friday, and then it's going to leave. Let's check out the accumulations really fast. Wow, you can see a lot of snow here. 31 inches near in between, I'm going to say in between central and eastern South Dakota. It's going to be either one. But this is the area where a lot of snow is going to be coming down. And then another one near western Minnesota. And then another one for southwest Minnesota. So quite a bit of snow. Just a couple inches off 3 feet. And then up to 13 to 16 inches for central South Dakota, about 13 to 15 inches for parts of Nebraska, 6 to 7 inches for parts of northern Kansas, and then 12 to 15 inches for part of Wisconsin. Showing a bit more snow here for part of the eastern part of the state, showing up to 15 inches for some areas. Showing a good amount for the southern part, 4 inches, just a couple miles south of Madison. So this is the general area that's going to get a lot of snow. So guys, I hope you guys liked this video. Hopefully it wasn't too long. Just trying to update guys with all the models so you guys have a general idea. So it's going to bring quite a bit of snow from the Midwest in the record books. So yeah, for the Midwest, parts of the plains. So yeah, hope you guys have a wonderful day. And please do not forget to like and subscribe.